So one of the things that I don't get to talk about very often is that while we were shooting Sun Don't Shine, the Casey Anthony trial was going on, and Kate and I would watch it. We would watch the trial because it was on. They had it televised in Florida. I don't know if they had it televised everywhere else, but because it took place in Orlando, it was on like all the local stations, and so I would make Kate watch it because it was completely fascinating to watch this woman's brain work, but also to watch the investigation of this woman's brain, because she had told so many lies that like they couldn't. That was basically the end result of the case, was that she told so many lies that that the case became inconclusive. Like there was no evidence that led them to any sort of like resolution about anything, so they couldn't prove anything, even though most everyone believed that she had actually killed her daughter. And so I made Kate watch it because the way that Casey Anthony was in sort of through the trial and sort of through the lies that you realize that she was telling, is that this is like a person that was completely unaware of what the long-term effects were going to be of these like minute, detail-oriented lies that just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and it just became. I said to Kate in building Crystal, and this is actually something that that I don't agree with in some of the reviews, is that I think that Crystal is an extremely highly intelligent person, and that her brain is constantly like thinking about how to manipulate a situation and how to control a situation through emotion, in order to avoid a complete fallout. It's like a survival technique, and that I think that she's developed through kind of being in bad situations. And I feel like watching the Casey Anthony trial, watching her sort of like create this web of lies. I was watching it and I was just like, that is just misguided brilliance. Like she told like people that she worked at Universal Studios. She led these detectives on a 20-minute tour through Universal Studios before she finally turned around and admitted that she had never worked there. And I mean, it's just like incredible. But not only that, but I also became very fascinated with, and this made it into the movie as well, very fascinated by growing up in Florida. There's like a certain sort of aesthetic to the way that you dress. There's a lot of Lycra. There's a lot of like skimpy stuff. But that's because it's hot there, and like the less clothes you have on, the better. And so there were these pictures that came out of Casey Anthony at the time of her in this like turquoise dress, and it was like, just like a tube top dress, and she's hanging out, she's at a kegger with these dudes, and they just kept blasting everyone with these images of this woman in this dress, and kept like saying that she murdered her child. And this is even before the trial started. And I started to become really offended by the bombardment that this woman should be punished because she was in these pictures having a good time in a turquoise dress. And so that image at the end of the movie for Sun Don't Shine, that's how that sort of bit of information seeped its way into Sun Don't Shine, is that I knew that at some point I was going to put Crystal in a Lycra dress, because the idea that there was something really horrific that had happened, and that in your final moments before you become incarcerated, that you put on this like ridiculously like loud and tacky dress, was really like alluring and sort of nightmarish and dreamy all at the same time. So